Today I'm gonna be playing Blue River Mainline over here to this game. So it was not actually based on any country like something like that. So this is only in America around here for this thing. If I will drive trains around here, but first let's see on the game details. Blue River Mainline is a fictional Class 1 railroad that operates the roadblocks. The routes, places are not based on real any locations. I'm probably sure multiple routes and places are not based on any real locations. Join our community server for more information, developments, and updates around here. It got most of the favorites of 2,200 favorites, over 200,000 visits, created in July 26th of 2022 and updated on December 16. It was a vehicle simulator. This is actually going to be for just like that. So I might gotta be driving trains for now, but I would not think they have been overcrowded by something else. So as you can see, the stores, there's no game passes, and the price about the private servers is 35 Robux in a total. Somebody pull the trains as pretty as possible. I can't spawn the trains because this is absolutely the bad news that I shouldn't actually go on the drive for this train. Of course, this is probably going to be the good ways to drive the train, and I wasn't able to be ready for this time. So looks like one of the locomotives are going to haul anything as possible, but things are going to pile up some traffic. I'm afraid I can't able to delete the trains. So this is going to be so bad whenever it does. They started to derail themselves, and I wouldn't able to be driving this train again, ever. So I'll be hopping into the SD40, and this should be going to be necessary. Somebody is going to be driving on that train. So I'm just getting out of here for around here for themselves. But looks like train horns everywhere around here for this one. But looks like they absolutely piled up for some traffic. So another way is I'm absolutely heading back all the way for a little bit for this one. So these trains are absolutely going to be moving a little bit forward or back whenever it is. So let's spawn that train. So everything is absolutely free around of these things as well. That the game has the SD70 Ace, the AC4400CW, ES44AC, AC4400CW, weathered and blown turbo of this thing, another ES44AC. This includes the rear ditches, about the SD40-2, and another SD40-2, and the ET44AC. I wasn't able to close, but I'm not sure I won't be able to be spawning again. So, as the track wasn't gonna be occupied from them itself, but looks like I already spawned this train, which is completely terrible. That spawning back and forth, but I did exactly the wrong thing. I cannot believe that I just spawned the train terribly. So I'll have to wait, and it will be taking for much more time in 12 minutes. So that must be the SD40. I can't drive this train, so I'll be moving into another server anyway. So once I'm on full screen, I'll be added 2 trains or 3. So let's add it 2. Double headliner. So I'm probably sure that I just going to be spawning for this. Let's spawn 2 locomotives at least for this one. Alright, let's jump inside of the train as fast as possible. But I will not sure, I may not able to get in on top of this thing as well. So I jumped on top of the train, and I wasn't actually going to get inside of this train. So I would open the door instead. So I can't able to get in. So let me just get around here in the first person view before it's going to disappear at any moment. I can't get looking around here for this one. I have to be careful around here because my gameplay is really bad. Alright, I'm stepping inside of the train. So looks like we're almost ready to go. I may not exit the locomotive as well, so looks like the throttle and the reverser, looks like we're going to be pulling ourselves into the first. Let's go for forward, and probably we're gonna get into another locomotive with this one. So I'll push up for this one, but we cannot absolutely move the throttle on. And so I wasn't able to be pulling up for some freight. Somebody is absolutely rolling on within dozens of freight cars, whatever it does. And where are the freight cars? I'm gonna stop of this train. I wasn't actually going to be used to do this. So I definitely forgot to add some freight when I was going anywhere as possible. Alright, just a little bit closer, and fuel the emergency brakes out of here. So I am completely safe, and I wasn't actually going to get around here. So let's go for the neutral. And if I gotta jump out of the locomotive as well, this definitely might go in a delete sometime soon if I'm not where am I doing around here. So I can't able to open the door. So looks like I absolutely going to jump out of the locomotive as fast as possible. Somebody coupled really much. So I'm just going to get out of here for this time. I wasn't able to get ready for this too. And I wasn't able to go anywhere as well. I'm out of here. So this wasn't able to get me out as well. I'm probably sure I was totally a bad luck. So I might get angry if I'm just not gonna getting out of here for this time. So alright, I'm going to spawn any freight cars that I probably wanted. Wait a second, there's somebody spawn from their freights. There's canter beams like this, whenever it's going to be something like that. So I'm going to spawn any freight cars around here. So this is the freight consist around here. And what is that absolutely is going to do this? The intermodal around of the containers. Alright, I'm going to be using the grain and spawn the grain for this one. So this is the grain train around here. So I'm about to use this line. Even that pretty much that I'm going to spawn over here. I gotta get back inside of that train. The diesels are screaming loud around here while they were idling, pretty much. Oh jeez. This is absolutely pretty loud that I'm not very sure. I gotta get back inside of the train and let's couple it, and we're having our full first journey in about of this train. Let's get into it for this time before I hop into this train. So, oh geez, I absolutely using the brake. Let's pull up the throttle, and pressing D means you're going to get a little bit of amount of this thing as well. Oh geez, this is totally going to be loud as well. Alright, the switchers weren't absolutely going to be a little bit right. So, when I'm driving this train, of course, this won't be necessary. And I'm started to go speeding around here for this one. I may not see one of those. Oh geez. Let's turn down the throttle. Wait a second. I didn't switch that thing over here. Alright, that definitely works. Well, let's just get around here and let's not waste our time, and we're going to be starting for their journey very soon as possible. So here's how to drive a train in Blue River Mainline. They kept on spawning and despawning like anything, that after you spawn a train for your first time, maybe it's time to drive a train without getting stealed. So, you can look around here for something like in the onboard view. You can do whatever you want around here. That must be for multiple camera view, engine view, like anywhere it does. I may not actually gonna be turning around anywhere as possible that I used to be. So you can turn on the lights, the main lights as well, that I just probably turning on as well. You can turn on the ditch lights and flash like anything as well. You can turn on all the lights as absolutely going to do so as well, including the cab lights. So you can use the bell. It's pretty loud as possible, and we absolutely sound the horn as possible. But all horns in this game are probably a little bit real, but exactly this won't going to be exactly what it was. So let's hear this out. So this is where you move around here to drive a train, and this is how you drive a train to move forward, of pressing the letter W key, and pressing the D key is where the trains that absolutely start to move. And somebody is absolutely going to steal my train if this is not going to even work as well. Pressing E is where you engage the brakes. That pressing the letter A key is where you doing something like this. Pressing the A key is absolutely releasing the throttle, and going on reverse by pressing the letter S, this is where it absolutely goes on reverse. By disengaging on the brakes, the release of the brakes should hold Q. This is where absolutely you can drive a train, and you're probably going to reverse the train as well. So I didn't mention to have to pull on the train throttle as well. That total of notch is 8. The maximize of the throttle could be even necessary around here for something. If the engine might absolutely going up for a little bit for one thing as well, for overheated reasons, this resulted to go up in flames of this entire engine, or something like for the exhaust pipe. So we probably sure that is gonna be holding up for brakes. You could not absolutely using for the reverser for something like whenever it does, until the train is fully halt around here. Let's go around here for this thing as well. As we're hearing around here for screaming of this train, this is definitely going to be loud as something else. So, time to pick up some freights and grains, whatever that it is, if I tried. The bad news is, I won't able to be driving trains because all of the sudden, these players have kept on going idiotic around here. And especially when I try to spawn some grains, this is absolutely getting even much more terrible than I not actually used to be. So, this is not what I just never expected for. When I just going to be spawning for some grains, or like the freight cars, like the mixed freight. But unfortunately, this is absolutely goes to bad news for me. I do not believe it. I cannot absolutely going anywhere by themselves. So we'll be absolutely going to see any rules about of this game. Cheesy, crusty maniac as well. I'm not very sure this isn't going to get anywhere as possible right. So looks like any trains can be like anything as well, so I have to pass them as well. So you can choose any types of freight trains as well, especially that guy from Nigeria. So over here, I wasn't able to spawn some trains. Somebody absolutely tried to spawn anywhere as well. I guess this is absolutely too late. Everything is occupied around here for this one. I cannot actually spawn. I can't believe it. I won't be able to be spawning for a little bit as well. So that the button was absolutely disabled, but I wasn't able to be spawning this again. So you could spawn around mixed freight, immortal, grain, auto track. I'm not being able to spawn around here because if that happens around here, but unfortunately this could be ruined for anything around here as well. So things will going to be updated soon, as well as try not to be reckless or anything as possible that they might absolutely gonna be show on the collisions as well. So you can delete any trains that you're probably going to do. You can show settings around for hide location marks. I'm at Canny Yard and geographical latitude and time. That must be a little bit for one thing as well. You can show up teleports, or you can sprint around here like anywhere it does, or hold shift to activate sprinting mode whenever it does. They started to hit the horns, and this is absolutely a little bit for one thing as well. So right then, I'm not going to be spawning some mixed freights. Every train is loud. I don't put the volume into max. So let's show up some spoilers. No, you can show up for some teleports. That must be anything around here. There's no Canny Yard. That is absolutely where I just actually going to spawn. So let's go to the dispatch and see what it does around here. Nobody is controlling into the dispatch around here for as well. So, know anybody around here in the CP East, Milberg. CP events, you can teleport to CP events whenever you go into the interlocking. The Herbert yard over here. There's no yard over here, it's just a interlocking. CP Jaden, and there is where I just started around here. Connie Yard Office. There's no rules that are absolutely being spawned, but I cannot believe these chat filters around here just absolutely insanely clean, but I'm not sure. This might going to get a little bit dirty as well. This will definitely going to ruin like anything for themselves. So things have went a little bit bad here in the chat filter. But looks like the bad news is I may not able to be driving for some trains because I don't have any private servers yet. And still don't have Robux. Alright, next up is the Drunner. You can teleport to Airyman. I can hear for some trains as well. So this is the secondary spawn where you can spawn the trains as well. Definitely, there must be multiple trains are being spawned like anything around here for this one. So, this could be the Game Pass yard? I'm not very sure. It's not a Game Pass yard anyway. So, looks like I won't able to spawn anything as well. So, this is gonna be my secret spawn to spawn many trains. Could get actually going to use some grains. Especially, I'm going to be spawning a mixed freight whenever it is that I just going to drive this thing as well. MP198. So there's another interlocking as well. MP214. We're probably nearer the city around here for this way. Mayorsville. Oh, wait a second. This is absolutely Mayorsville? Definitely right. This could be for a forbidden train spawn that you could actually drive around here for this train. So, oh, look at all the freight cars like this. They're nothing a little bit realistic, and I wouldn't able to be spawning for some trains even though. So there's long spawn trains around here. I barely cannot able to spawn some trains. You may not able to couple the abandoned cars like this one. So there must be the roads and less of suburbans like this. Another one is Millburg. And there must be the interlocking for just like this thing as well. So another one is Millburg Yard. You can actually teleport instead of Canny Yard. So the east and so the west. This is absolutely, there's Slade East or Slade West. And finally Wadford. This is not an interlocking or train spawn. So I can't find to the train spawners where it is. So I'm going for the Miller Yard, so which is not even possible. So I'm just going to get back into Airyman or Dunner as well. I'm probably not sure. I'm gonna be using Airyman spawner. Looks like somebody is absolutely moving. But there is only SD40 locomotives around here and Airyman around here. If I show up for teleports, that you may absolutely spawn SD40 locomotives in Airyman. But even though more locomotives like this as the SD44 or like anything around here, or the AC4400 SC or the ES locomotives like this, probably like the Gevos. So that must be the end of this video for something like else. I may not able to be driving for some trains, but things are absolutely going to get out of their control about this thing as well. So if somebody who absolutely wanted to update of this game, this is probably a little bit chaos for something like else. With a train horn madness, and things could get really noisy around here from anything around here. You can hide those GUIs for something else, Or maybe you might able to delete trains. It's someone, but I cannot believe. If somebody is absolutely trying to steal your train, you better delete everything around here and doing whatever it is. Just try to start all over again, especially like the mixed freight or something like this. Wouldn't able to be spawning like big locomotives for something else? Especially I don't have any private servers as well. You may absolutely join the servers, is really possible, if I probably not very sure wouldn't able to be doing this. So alright, that's going to be the end of this video for something as well. The link is gonna be in description to tell you how that you can show for this video or this game over here. It was built by Buildsman over this time as well for something like it else. So that is everything around here for today. You could change the time of day, but in a chat filter around here for some sort of like year, that wouldn't be so necessary look like this one, that the chat filter might getting a little bit dirty around here before AI has caught everybody on the block around here for this one. So that's it, everybody, as well. The link is going to be in the description, and you leave a like on this game. Don't dislike it around here if things could get going out of control. Thanks for watching and for all your support. And I'm going to be signing off, and I'll talk to you rail fanners and mini lads all later for to do this. So, have a good time rail fanning or driving trains.